Let's begin, Nikita.
Welcome to meeting number 195. I am Nikita, your Sergeant in Arms for today. At Toastmasters, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communications and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. You are now inside the code of conduct of Toastmasters meeting. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and it may not be possible to pause the recording. Please follow the following guidelines. Please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of this meeting will lead to removal from the meeting without any warning. Please ensure all your noise making devices are either switched off or on silent mode. You have 5 seconds to check that. Please speak responsibly on religion, sex, and politics in your speeches. As far as possible, please keep your videos on, audios off, and applause flowing throughout. Be the kind of audience that you'd want for yourself. Toastmaster of the day, table topic master, and general evaluator, please ensure a smart audio and video check before handing over to any role player. Role players, please rename yourself with the role that you're playing as your prefix, and if any other club that you belong to as your suffix. We encourage you to use Zoom emoticons generously to encourage the role players. We sincerely request you to not indulge in any kind of chat messages, especially when a speaker is on stage. Reiterating, please stay on mute until asked otherwise. Polls will be launched after each section and they will be closed after 30 seconds. Now, I'd like to introduce the presiding officer of our club, who is a software engineer by profession. He loves to ride, play, and travel, and the words that he lives by is live the way that you want. Please welcome Unique Katnoria.
Thank you, Nikita, but Unique had to drop for some urgent work that he had to do. So I am going to be your presiding officer for the day. I am Madhav Upadhyay, VP membership in the club. Now, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all in meeting number 195 of Turning Point Toastmasters. And this is a series of very special meeting because we are moving forward to score a double century of meetings. Now, I would like to acknowledge our guest first. We have Paramita Day with us. She was there. She has been in a few meetings. Like she had us with us in last meeting as well. We have Sang Jung from South Korea, SRTM South Korea Club. We do have Fatima Khadir and no, we do not have any. So yeah, I welcome all guests. And I'm glad that we have them. Now, the theme for today's meeting is writing. Now, there is a famous quote: "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." I don't know the actual person who wrote this quote, but this is a quite famous one. And I would like to say that you can write blogs, you can write stories, you can have a personal diary and write in that as well. I didn't do any of that, but I joined Toastmaster and I had to write my icebreaker speech. I wrote my icebreaker speech on the journey that I had. When I wrote my icebreaker speech, I got to know things that I didn't know before. I got to know things about myself that I didn't know before. This is something that writing can do to you. And I got to know when I wrote my first speech. Now, for this theme, we have a person who in 2019 took a resolution to write a story share with you, and those 100 stories he has written on that channel. And I don't think we can have any better person for this theme. I would like to welcome our VP Education, Anant Katyani. Anant Katyani, over to you.
Thank you, Madhav. And just because there was a slight last minute change because of a health issue for Unique, Nikita could not give a proper intro about you. So let me tell everyone for their benefit. Madhav is that superhero within our team who likes to work from the shadows. Now he has been instrumental along with the treasurer Rajesh in silently renewing so many members within this club. There are so many others who want to join and they are already following up with Madhav. So Madhav is probably, if I take the reference from the latest Snyder cut of Justice League, he is that, silent assassin, the Batman, who is coordinating everyone together and making a solid, formidable team. So for me, Madhav is that superhero among us. So Madhav, hats off to your dedication and thank you so much for taking up this role at the last minute. Now, I need to give a due credit to someone who actually thought of this theme in the original place. That is my predecessor, my previous VP Education, Sumit. Unfortunately, I don't know how, but it has been a shift of season. So a lot of, a slight cold and cough are prevalent. So Sumit has a severe bad throat. That's why I could not come. But then he inspired me to take up this role 3 days back. And ladies and gentlemen, writing is not something that comes to me easy, not at all. The glorious introduction that Madhav gave about me, well, that was a necessity. That became a necessity because I wanted to call me a storyteller. So before actually starting to tell stories, I needed to be a story writer first. Now, how many of you can say with a raise of hand, with a lot of confidence that yes, you are in the habit of writing? How many of you? I know Rupinder, he has been in the habit of writing evaluations, but Rupinder, that doesn't cut it. Something else. Writing for your satisfaction. Arunima, are you a writer? Rajesh says yes. Who else? Well, those who are probably not raising their hand up, not to worry. That is because we have been conditioned like that. The most we have written till we have attained graduation academically, the most we have written is in exams. In exams, we overwrite. But other than that, we don't write that often. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why is writing a very good exercise? If you struggle to articulating your thoughts, grammatically putting the right phrases, the words, choosing the best alternative as a synonym for a placement of a word, while thinking quick on your feet, that's obvious. But if you tune yourself to do all that with having a lot of time at your disposal, writing is that exercise where you can condition yourself like that. We don't write that often, and that is why we don't even realize that see, watch, view, observe, gaze, stare. There are probably 22 different synonyms for just this action of watching or seeing. Which word to pick when? A lot of context is behind that. We don't need to be necessarily a Shashi Tharoor or a hi-fi GRE level English speaker, but we need to know the basics of writing. The more we write, the finer we become. Toastmasters is a place for speakers and leaders. But ladies and gentlemen, before calling ourselves a public speaker and hence a leader, first we have to know how to articulate our thoughts on a piece of paper or in MS Word confidently, effectively. How to do that? Well, we will discuss some tips and tricks about that from my humble experience. Before we go there, for the benefit of those who are joining us for the first time, Toastmasters is a platform which has a similar kind of format across the globe. So for example, there are a few Toastmasters who are joining us from outside India as well. Case in being Sangjang from, let's say, South Korea. Even he will not feel out of place because the format remains the same. We practice prepared speaking, then speaking off the cuff. We call it table topics, and then evaluation. As my mentor says, evaluation is the champion of breakfast. Well, I'm repeating this quote a third time, and it still makes me chuckle because someone thought about it and miswrote it. Because they miswrote, that is why it became funny. But that's a different story. So evaluation is something that makes us refined, meeting by meeting, opportunity by opportunity, day by day, to help us graciously, not alone, but as a team together. Let me introduce the chief of all evaluators, someone who calls herself a voracious reader than a writer. But today, when I asked how many of you are a good writer, she raised her hand. So she is probably a double-edged sword herself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the chief evaluator, the general evaluator, Arunima Bindal. Arunima, here you go.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Anand. But I am not like a very good writer. I do write for myself. I don't like share it with people. So normally I will share it with you only when we have a fight. So if you want to see what I write, you have to indulge in a fight with me. Then only you will get something written from me. Otherwise, it is just for myself. It's like I like to read books more. Moving on to the evaluation section for today. Guys, I am the general evaluator for today. My role is to evaluate the meeting as a whole and take care of all the evaluators and the tag team. I'll introduce with you my tag team. So we have a timer, Nikita, who will be taking care of the timings and everything. Nikita, can you say hi to them? We have a counter, Anshuman, who will be noticing all your and other sounds that are not required. Anshuman, can you please say hi to them?
I'll keep spotlighting them the moment they share their video. So you go on.
Okay. And then we have the most important role player from our tag team, who is the grammarian. She is the one who will be taking care of the language that we use, like the good usages and the bad usages. And I hope she does not sleep so that none of the bad usages goes unnoticed. So here I introduce the grammarian for today, Haritika.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I promise that I won't sleep today. Okay, the word of the day is exaggerate. Meaning of the word is regarded or represented as larger, better, or worse than in reality. Examples of using the word are he tends to exaggerate when talking about his accomplishments. She has an exaggerated sense of her own importance. I would encourage all the speakers and role players to use the word during our meeting today. And I request everyone present to acknowledge the usage of the word with a thumbs up. And I'll give the report at the end of the session when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Hritika. I just think you and your sleeping habits are just exaggerated. You does not actually sleep. With this, I'll present my report at the end, handing over back to the Toastmaster of the day, Anand.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. You were not exaggerating at all when you said our dear grammarian tends to sleep. We have eyewitnesses. But no worries. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 sections to this meeting, remember? First one, where we practice for prepared speeches. Second one, where we practice for impromptu speaking. Someone will throw a topic and you have to just nominate yourself, speak. So all our dear guests, please wait for that section. Towards the end, Arunima and team will provide us a wholesome feedback on all the aspects that are to be covered in this meeting. To begin our prepared speech section, let me go back to my own first ever prepared speech. Ladies and gentlemen, it took me 2 years to write my own icebreaker. What was my block, my writing block? Well, this idea that when I have to write something perfect, right? Something really charismatic, something really fulfilling, something really just off the roof, something that should just blow the minds of my listeners or readers. That doesn't happen so often, does it? It took me 2 years to realize that. And on top of that, whatever I had wrote on piece of paper and internalized, I did not even rely on that. I extra wrote it on my palm. And then when the moment came to deliver my first ever icebreaker, hey, what's the next point? I forgot what did I do in my life after my schooling, but before my job, my college. I forgot that completely because I just wrote. I did not write smartly. I should have written in a much more systematic manner. I should not have had a chance where I just forgot about it. Well, I forgot about it, but I hope our next 3 speakers are not forgetting what they are speaking today. To kick off this prepared speech section, let me invite the evaluator of my first speaker, someone whose bread and butter is instructional design. He is a trainer, a career trainer, and writing comes for him, just like water comes to the fish. So ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Rupinder Singh, DTM, as evaluator number 1.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters, for many of you, Rajesh is delivering a speech today from Level 1 Project 2, Speech 2, from the leadership development part. What you do not see is the kind of effort Rajesh put into the speech. I asked Rajesh a series of questions regarding his speech, questions that could be overwhelming for the most of us, but it is a testimony to his commitment to excellence that Rajesh answered all the questions patiently, even if that meant having to dig up answers to uncomfortable questions. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate that they have applied the feedback received from the first speech. As for the feedback received from the first speech, Rajesh wants me to cover voice modulation, body language. In addition, Rajesh also wants me to cover non-verbal communication, which apart from voice modulation and body language, is his confidence levels. Timer. Please note that we are all set for 5 to 7 minutes of what I know will be an excellent speech. Rajesh, all the very best. Bring your A game. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Rupinder. Timer, before I introduce my speaker number 1, may I have a quick check on the timing device? Can you quickly share the screen? It took about 3 seconds. So please unshare. And may I request you to share your screen maybe 3 seconds earlier, green, yellow, and red, so that the speaker is notified properly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our first speaker today is actually delivering the speech for the second time, because as per the objectives Rupinder just said, now he is also my mentee. And as I introduced him the last time, I was the TMOD there as well. It is a sheer joy to watch him speak, seeing how far he has come within such a short time. His favorite book is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And ladies and gentlemen, he is carrying this book in his hand. Let us welcome speaker number 1, Rajesh Pagal, Living a Legacy. Living a Legacy, Rajesh Pagal.
How many here are mentors? Can you please raise your hand or put a thumbs up symbol? Okay, I saw many of them rise, and many of them did not raise their hand or they did not put any thumbs up symbols. They are not mentoring anyone. You don't have any mentors. You don't have any siblings. You don't know. Unknowingly, we are mentoring so many people in our daily life. Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the day, and dear guest, a very good evening to everyone. Let's start with a simple example. Once upon a time, in a village, 3 farmers are living and they have their own crop fields. Unfortunately, all the crop fields were affected by pest. So the first farmer went ahead and building a strong fences. The second farmer went ahead putting a scarecrow. And the third farmer went ahead and put the pesticides. Unfortunately, none of them were able to get rid of this issue. One day, a farmer who is a village head and their teacher was crossing that road. He noticed the situations and he called them and asked them to take this stick and try to break it. Then all of them are able to break it. Then he has given a bundle of sticks. The first, second, and third, none of them were able to do it easily. It was struggle and it was not easy. The farmer then said, if you are together, you are stronger. This is what he told and he left it. The 3 farmers realized all those things and pooled their resource and install all the 3 options what they had, and they are able to get rid of the pest issue. Here, what farmer or teacher has done in this scenario, this is exactly what Toastmaster of the day envisions mentorship. The mentorship of Toastmaster is not about holding your finger and show you all the each and every rules. Do it in this way, do it that way. He will not direct you. He will listen your goals and he will understand your visions and he will help you to guide to achieve your goal. In the Toastmaster Internationals, whoever in whom you can in the Toastmaster Internationals, if you see who are the mentors, they had earlier mentee in his times or in his their times. The relationship between mentor and mentee, it's like not like that coach and students. It is something different. See, if I'll give my examples, my mentor, here the Toastmaster of the Anant, he helped me to achieve my goals. I remember if I'll go the fast meetings where I was doing the table topics, I could not speak more than 10-15 seconds. And I was really surprised after 14 years experience, but I'm not able to speak a single word in front of the entire group. That time I was crying like anything. I called him and told my problems. Being I'm from Odisha, my communication is purely in the Odia language. So, but he guided me. He told me, you should not worry all those things. Your top means whenever you have to present some things, you need to think sometimes. After that, you need to deliver. You should not jump immediately. That helps. It helps me a lot. That in the last year, when I was in the previous organizations, they asked me to put the paper because during the COVID situations. I was really surprised And since my entire family is here in the outside, so how do I manage? But such type of words from the Toastmaster Anand, it helps me a lot. Instead of breaking down, I try to find the way how I can survive or how I can better it. Not only it helps. In the recently, I was joined one group. In that group, I saw many people. They are still struggling, or they have lost their jobs during these Corona times. I try to help them, and it is not about help. Even I try to mentor them. Now more than 50 people, they are really grateful. They are always pinging me or calling me and telling that helps. It helps them a lot. Now those things, it helps mentally a lot. If I'll tell now, if I'll die or I leave that group, still people will remember and they will tell that I'm living with a legacy. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Can we have a good, nice round of applause for this courageous speaker? I'm sure his journey has inspired us all. And I think the way he has improved, not just in speaking, but in writing, that is a testament to why we should write more often, isn't it? Because when he sends me a draft, I am probably, I don't have to review it too much. I just have to look at it at a thought level and suggest him some ideas, because writing, he has come a long way. Now hold on to that thought and take 1 minute. Timer, please give me a thumbs up or maybe a red signal at the end of 1 minute. Everyone, please take 1 minute and give up personal feedback through private chat to Rajesh. Meanwhile, I request the audience members to switch their videos on so the speakers can feed off your energy. Let them see your faces and be encouraged. Haritika is over encouraging. Thank you, Nikita. Now, my favorite author of all time has to be the person whose books I have bought the most, Agatha Christie. She is a terrific writer. In fact, she is the writer whose books have been sold, whose books have sold more copies, second most number of copies after Shakespeare. In fact, after Bible and Shakespeare's work, Agatha Christie's work has been the most widespread work across the globe in last 100 years or so. Now, the next speaker we have is also a fan of detective fiction or the suspense and thriller genre. And his favorite author is Dan Brown. Remember the Da Vinci Code? But his favorite book is not the Da Vinci Code. It is Deception Point. Now, if you haven't, please read that. It's a good book. His evaluator is someone who is donning multiple hats today. Ladies and gentlemen, time now for hearing once more from Madhav Upadhyay, the evaluator number 2.
Thank you, Anant. I am evaluator for Shaurya. The purpose of his speech is to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and unintentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she, how Shaurya uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. I would be presenting a evaluation report in evaluation section. I look forward to a speech, Shaurya. All the best. Over to you, Anand.
Thank you so much, Madhav. Timer, please note this speech is for 5 to 7 minutes. Shaurya, can I do a quick audio video check with you since we could not do it in the beginning of the meeting?
Yes. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are. Your background is taking away your expressions a little. Is it a real background or the virtual one?
It
Light is coming on
virtual
top of your face.
background. Yeah.
So light is coming from the top, on top of your face. So
Yes.
yeah, if you just sit like that, it will be a little easier to see you.
Okay. All right.
Okay, great. So timer, and please be on the standby with his first words. Please start the timing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the speaker number 2, Shaurya Chauhan, a pink lion. A pink lion, Shaurya Chauhan.
The blazing summer sun was on top. The path to my house lay deserted, but my mouth was full of the ice cream that I held in my hand. As I moved forward a little and my doorstep appeared, a little drop of ice cream escaped my hand and fell towards the ground, which is when I noticed the streams of blood that were gushing past my feet. As I raised my head to look for its source, that's when I saw it, the king of the jungle staring at me. As I stood there paralyzed, he slowly moved his mane and roared at me. How shameless are you? Wait, what? This time, even the dean won't be able to save you. Good morning. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This was not the first time that I was witnessing Professor Banerjee sucking the life out of his students in his history class. But to be fair to him, it also wasn't the first time that I had closed my eyes and gone off to La La Land in one of his lectures. Actually, I was notorious for dozing off in class and daydreaming and wasting my time. But that's a question that I don't really understand. Is daydreaming really a wastage of time? Today, allow me to project in front of you all some of these dream sequences, or as I like to call them, free life lessons. And I'll let you get the answer to that question. Scene 1, take 1. Action. Underneath the orange sky, my best friend Shwetang was batting on 49 runs as I came steaming in to deliver another googly to him. He swung his bat wildly and the ball raced away towards the wall, which had been designated as the boundary. Determined not to let him get to his half century, I chased wildly after the ball, but at the last moment I realized it was not a wall. It was actually the boundary to the terrace on which we were playing. Too late. In the next moment, I was hurtling towards the ground when I finally hit it and came out of the dream, realizing my sister had just kicked me off the bed. But the relief was short-lived as 2 weeks later came take 2. This time, I was on the terrace and I knew about it. But this time, the ground started shaking. I was ready and I quickly moved down the stairs to the ground. But when I was on the ground and taking a sigh of relief, the whole building came hurtling down and crashed on top of me. Lesson learned. Buildings are murderers. Always keep your feet on the ground. Always. Scene 2. Tung. The invigilator suddenly started distributing the question papers as I tried to understand that I was in my 12th standard classroom again. And looking at the question paper, I realized it was a nightmare. It was chemistry, the subject that I would always prepare the hardest for, but never get any marks on. As always, I turned back to look 2 rows back where my girlfriend would be sitting and would get me out of these murky situations. But she was already pointing at me. Totally puzzled by that, I looked at myself and realized she was actually pointing at her pajamas, her Winnie the Pooh pajamas that I was wearing. In a desperate attempt to save my rapidly combusting integrity, I rushed out of the room, and now I was on stage at somebody's wedding party, surrounded by guests who were looking at me. Then I realized it was my elder sister's wedding, who came out of the crowd and gave me a tight slap that snapped me out of that dream, that horrible, embarrassing dream. Lesson learned. No matter how much your girlfriend insists, no matter how much she says, it will be fun, never try on her pajamas. You will always regret it. Scene 3. The Havan Kund was set, the mattresses had been laid out, and people were already gorging on the sweets that were lying over there, when my most orthodox friend's sweetest mother came towards me and asked me, "Son, would you like to have it with a cold drink or would you like to have it with soda?" Auntie, change of scene. Now suddenly I am half drunk and half hungover in front of most of my class and the jury, about to give a presentation that I know nothing about. Sir, cut off scene. Now I have a knife in my hand and I'm about to cut a cake that seems to be made up of 3 parathas, while my best friend is standing there laughing at me. Bro, listen, and then cut to black. Lesson learned? What lesson learned? Am I supposed to learn that you should take both cold drink and soda when your friend's mother gives you them? Or is it about giving your presentations hungover so that they become more tolerable? Or is it about the fact that this one, the wildest dream sequence, was actually not imagined by me with my eyes closed? Actually, it was created by me and experienced by me with my eyes and my heart, both of them open. These were actually the last 2 days of my college life. So based upon all this ridiculousness, here is my case for daydreaming. Maybe they are not meant to reflect your suppressed emotions or your dark desires. Maybe they are just meant to show you how embarrassing, how cringy, how happy, and how unforgettable your life can probably be if you live every single day like you're in a dream. Let's chase that ball. Let's fall off of our high expectations and let's enjoy these surreal moments with whatever we have right now. All while wearing Winnie the Pooh pajamas, mind you. And as for me, every day when I wake up, I start painting everything I see around me in my own reality. But this time, my eyes are always open. Open to another embarrassing moment, open to another unforgettable memory, and open to finding a real lion on my street one day. This time though, I plan to paint it pink. Now that is something that I promised you. Thank you for coming to watch this horror movie with me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Shaurya. I could never guess what a fun ride a pink lion story would become. Thank you so much for giving those life lessons. Time now for us to provide you a short feedback within 1 minute. Timer, please show me a red card after 1 minute. Everyone, including our guests, please provide at least one commendation, one recommendation in your opinion in private chat to speaker number 2, Shaurya. Thank you, timer. Got your signal. An update for general evaluator and everyone else, since evaluator number 3, Abhishek, has not reported in yet. There might be some exigency, some emergency at his point. So Naveen Parwal has graciously agreed to become the evaluator number 3, and he will be evaluating our third speaker who is delivering an icebreaker. Can we have Naveen Parwal on stage? Naveen, over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and friends. So I'll be evaluating this project. This is L1P1 from Effective Coaching, and this is an icebreaker speech for Toastmaster Gaurav. And the objective of the speech is The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of the public speech. So I look forward to hearing Toastmaster Gaurav, and the timings for this project is 4 to 6 minutes. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Naveen. And timer, once again, reminder, timing is 4, 5, and 6, green, yellow, and red. Now, before I introduce the next speaker, he had a long list of favorite books and authors. And probably I will not even go there and introduce all of them. The way I would introduce will be based on my sweet interaction with him 2 nights back when he was discussing about the speech content with me. And there I realized how eager, how hungry he is, not just as a speaker, but as a writer. Because the draft that he had, he wanted to fit in so many things within that 4 to 6 minutes. He probably had written lesser than what he had striked off. Oh, Haritika is smiling. Maybe she does that too. But ladies and gentlemen, this is who we are. This is how hungry we have to be as a writer. Not like this guy who took 2 years in writing, maybe the CV in terms of a speech. So let us be inspired even before this icebreaker speaker comes, and let us give, if not a standing ovation, at least a good round of applause as a token of encouragement when the speaker finishes his first ever speech. Let us invite speaker number 3, Gaurav Zingla, on stage and have a quick audio video check. Gaurav, say something to us.
Anant, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, and yes, you are visible. So ladies and gentlemen, speaker number 3, Gaurav Zingla, the journey of my life. The journey of my life, Gaurav Zingla.
Thank you, Anant. What Aristotle once said, knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. Fellow Toastmasters, good evening, and thank you for providing me this platform for stating my journey and self-exploration. I, Gaurav Zingla, grew up in a small town, Faridkot in Punjab. Faridkot is named after a famous Sufi saint, Sheikh Baba Farid. I belong to a joint family, so I had numerous siblings to have fun with. On 30th December 1987, my mother got year-end sales offer. The sales offer was buy one, get one free. At 12:55 p.m., I was born. Exactly after 5 minutes, my brother was born. Our nicknames are Johnny and Bonnie. We never heard her name individually in the streets of Faridkot. In our neighborhood, we were called collectively as Johnny, Bonnie, never as Johnny or Bonnie. Why? This is the dilemma of identical twins. No one was ever sure who is who. So many incidents followed, and then I went on to pursue my engineering from Punjab University. Then I worked for Infosys for 2 years. Post that, I decided to do MBA. During my MBA, I thought and pondered upon things that why am I doing MBA? I was doing a good enough job. My job was going well. Why did I do MBA? But after 2 years of my degree, I realized and got the answers to all the questions. UBS, my college, gave me 2 beautiful things. One, a better job. Second, my life partner. About the latter, I will talk later. Then I joined my job in Gurgaon. But destiny had more surprises for me. So I was transferred to Chandigarh. I went back to Chandigarh and started staying with my sister's place, along with my nephew and niece. I had to work from home. Work from home was advantageous to everyone around me except me. For instance, my sister. My sister had an advantage that she got a babysitter, and my future wife, she had an advantage that I was having a good experience of handling babies at an early stage, for which, as we are expecting a first child in September, my wife is thankful to my sister for giving me such an amazing experience. To moving ahead in my life's journey, the D-Day arrived when I decided to get married. My life partner's name is Arushi. Arushi's parents went to Faridkot to meet my parents for the marriage talks. And they invited my parents to come to Chandigarh to meet Arushi. On the following night, I called my father and asked, Dad, when are you coming to Chandigarh and who else would be coming along with you? My father responded, Johnny, your mother and I, along with few of the relatives, will be coming to Chandigarh and we will be coming soon. Then he started giving the names of the relatives. The count reached to 20. 20 people coming to see Arushi. I was shocked, but this happens when you are a part of a big joint family. I thought it wouldn't work out. Eventually, it worked out. I got married. With that, Lady Luck shined on me, and I was able to change my job, which I was struggling to do for almost an year. Post that, now I'm working in Vivo India. In Vivo India, I am working with Chinese expats. So it's a different culture and a whole of a new learning experience for me. In my job profile, the demand is to have effective communication and good public speaking skills, as I have to coach the state managers. I have joined Toastmasters so that I can sharpen my public speaking skills and improve my communication. And I feel my fellow Toastmasters help and guidance will help me to achieve these goals. To conclude, I will say I think I was able to give you a short tour into my life, though personally I feel that I was able to look into my life through this icebreaker in a whole different way that I have never ever thought of. Thank you very much. Over to you, TMOD.
Bravo, bravo, Toastmaster Gaurav. That was an excellent icebreaker. One, the kind of I wish I could have delivered myself 8 years ago. Nonetheless, bygones be bygones. Let's take one more minute of silence, in which I request all of you to provide Toastmaster Gaurav a kind and hearty feedback, considering it is his first ever prepared speech. After which we will have a quick polling. So Rupinder, the poll master, please be on standby. Timer, thank you so much. And poll master, please launch the polls. We will have exactly 30 seconds to provide our feedback. While you do that, let me just, it's very simple, right? Rajesh, Shaurya, and Gaurav, you pick your choice, click on submit, don't take too much time. Timer, not timer, poll master, please close the poll in next 10 seconds. Now, ladies and gentlemen, prepared speaking is where the writing comes to your help directly. But trust me when I say this, If you want to become a good impromptu speaker, write more often. Even if you don't want to write pages after pages, at least write maybe 5 bullet points on any given topic on the fly to yourself. Maybe when you are walking, or maybe you are driving and you see a signboard, a topic strikes your mind. In your mind itself, write it as a mental exercise. 1, 2, 3, point number 4, point number 5, like that. The way you do that, it helps you organize your thought. You never know, one day exactly those thoughts, or in general similar kind of speeding up practice, may help you in a table topic, the kind of session which we are about to witness. My request to these few gentlemen and ladies are specifically Raghunandan, Sherman Perry, Paramita Day, Sang Jung, and of course our member Fatima Khader. Please be on the lookout as you guys get to speak the first. How you have to do? Raise your hand and our table topic master will pick you up and I will spotlight you. Now about our table topic master. Now this gentleman is a reader, and often, sometimes, not that many times, sometimes he's a writer as well. Well, that sometimes is when I push him to write his next speech. Other than that, he just avoids writing, but he's a good reader. His favorite book is Awaken the Giant Within by Anthony Robbins. And it is our good fortune to see him in action in with so much intensity that he is taking a big role meeting after meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, let us spotlight and welcome Toastmaster Surjit Lakhnotra, the table topic master of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, for introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. One of the most exciting portion of the Toastmaster meeting is table topic session. Table topic sessions is specifically designed to develop the impromptu communication skill by challenging the member to think on their feet by answering unrehearsed questions. We also give each member and guest a chance to speak on stage. So we do this with our table topic session. So one of the main objective of the table topic session is to develop the 4 essential communication skills. One is listening, thinking, organizing, and speaking. So I have prepared some topics related to our meeting theme. So I will ask questions one by one, and you have to raise your hand and you have to come on stage and speak for 1 to 2 minutes. So timer will show a green card at 1 minute and yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds and red card at 2 minutes. So there will be a grace period for 30 seconds. The speaker who finishes after the grace period will be disqualified. So I also request all the speakers to use the word of the day. So let's start this session. So who want to be first? So starting with our member, experienced member, I think Fatima.
Okay, yes, tell me.
Master, please spotlight.
Yeah, she is not joined through video, so I have unspotlighted you. You just assign it and she will speak.
Okay. Fatima, what do you like, reading or writing? What do you like, reading or writing, Fatima?
Thank you, table topic master, for the topic. What do I like, reading or writing? When I have to talk about to choose either of them, I would prefer reading rather than writing. Because when I write, I got to think about it, then write it. And when I write it, I'm sure that at least someone around me will take that piece of paper and read it. And I do not want to get caught by the mistakes that I make grammatically and my personal feelings while I'm writing. On the other hand, while it's about reading, I like the perspective of reading because I love to read the mindset of other people. I get to know what they think about one particular perspective. For instance, if I were to write about a ball, which is of orange color, I would rather say that, okay, this color is like orange and I love the fruit, and I would resemble it with that particular topic. But on the other hand, if there is a scientific writer who is writing about the same thing, it will say, he will give another dimension, that orange color reflects you as a person who is like this, and so on. So saying on that, I would prefer reading over writing. Thank you, and back to Toastmaster.
Thank you, Fatima, for such a wonderful views over this topic. So move on to next. So who's going to next?
Guys, you can simply raise your hand up virtually and we will spotlight you.
I am seeing guest Paramita Day. So would you like to give it a try?
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Paramita, your favorite author, Paramita.
Is there any chance to change the topic?
Can you twist the topic to your favorite team? Anything that you want to speak on? You have the free will.
Sorry, can't get.
From the favorite author, you can change it to anything that you like. Give it a shot. Your favorite book, favorite movie, favorite story, anything that you like.
I would try a little bit later, if it is possible.
Sure. Table topic master.
No worries. So who gonna be the next? I have guest Sherman.
We have Sherman. We have Sangjang.
So Sangjang, are you?
Okay. Yeah, I will take. Yeah, I will give it a shot. Thank you. Yeah. So what's the question?
Sangjang, what your reaction if someone gift you your biography? Your first reaction if someone gift you your biography, Sangjang?
Oh, okay. That's a very good question. Thank you, table topic master. Some people say, wow, you did so many things but I believe I still, there is no limit we can do in this life, because we are the machine, one of the most sophisticated machine or computer, whatever existing in the world. But you only use 5 or 10% because your environment or your heritage, because which will 4-letter word, fear is always block you. Also, when your eye
stage is to create a large number of really good essay plans that you can then memorize in the memorization stage and regurgitate onto paper during your exam. Now, it's probably beyond the scope of this video for me to teach you how to write a good essay, and probably also beyond the scope of my own expertise.
I'm saying fear outside of environment, because we usually 5 senses looking outside, not inside. But inside is always perfect and everything we can achieve. But we were sabotaged, people around you or something, really feared people will give you recommendation and also guide you. So that's the reason I believe everybody has a perfect, wonderful resume. So don't be afraid and show the way. Thank you. this is my presentation. Back to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sanjan, for such a wonderful views over this. And I think one of the most, it's the dream of everyone that we should have autobiography or biography. So with this, move on to our next topic. So I think Raghunandan, he.
Yeah, hi.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I joined a bit late, so I'm not sure about this completely, and I've got a bad connection as well. But yeah, I can definitely give it a try.
Okay. Raghunandan, who do you sometimes compare yourself to? Who do you sometimes compare yourself to, Raghunandan?
Okay, so right, so that's it's not a tough question, but yeah, I've never thought of whom should I compare myself to. Yeah, so this gets me into a deep thought in terms of how to go about thinking this thing in terms of what is it that I should think of comparing to begin with. So yeah, so I'll just give you a brief introduction in terms of you look some Bollywood actor. Not really, like I'm not a Bollywood kind of guy. I'm not into movies. I'm not into I don't do anything which kills time. So I'm a workaholic kind of guy mostly. So been working for like close to 10-12 years now. So yeah, like I think a good entrepreneurs out there, like Elon Musk is one of them. Wherein I don't compare myself, but yeah, that's one of a strong an aspiration. To be somebody like that is something that I would love to be one day. For which I think the mission is longer and been working hard day in and day out to get there. So I think that's it from my end. If you have any question, I can definitely answer that. Yeah.
Thank you, Raghunandan.
Yeah.
Thank you. So move on to our next topic. So I think we have. So please raise your hand who wanna give it a try. Okay, Sharman.
Yeah.
Sharman, which is worse, failing or never trying? Which is worse, failing or never trying, Sharman?
Yeah, Mr. Table Topic Master and fellow Toastmasters, never trying is the worst, I can say. So whatever you can do, you can try it. And it says, try and try until you succeed. There's some proverb. And also, if you don't try anything, if you can't do anything, if you can't achieve anything, so some people are just passing the time. I just want to try my writing, the theme of the day today, and sometimes we postpone, never try it. So most of the time it says, try your writing at different times of the day, and write. There are no shortcuts to writing. Everything you have to go through the hard work and reading a lot of articles and listening to the news, listening to editorial news, or a lot of things. So likewise, you have to work very hard and achieve. And in the evening, you can, whatever the things happen during the daytime, you can write a journal rather than just passing the time. You can write a small journal things, whatever things came across to you today, or the, what do you call this, issues, you can write it, how you came across, how you can come across tomorrow. If you can write, if you can speak also well, I think I'm just thinking, at least some part of this thing you supports grammatically or vocabulary, or writing some things like where you have to put the pauses and lot of things. So better not to, but not, it's called idle mind is devil's workshop. So better try anything, and you can achieve somewhere something. Over to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Shaman, for your wonderful views. I fully agree with you that we have to keep move on instead of sitting and wait for the right time. So move on to our next topic.
We can check with Paramita once again. She switches on her video.
Paramita, please switch on your video if you.
She is responding, yes.
Yes.
Spotlighted.
Paramita, what are you most grateful for? What are you most grateful for, Paramita?
So thank you for this topic. I'm most grateful for this life because we get a life once, and to me we need to live at fullest. And yes, I'm grateful for my life.
Thank you, Paramita, for great effort in attempting this. So move on to next topic.
We can check with evaluators. We have 8 more minutes.
We have Evaluator 2. Would you like to give it a try?
Yeah, he's playing multiple roles. Can we check with Evaluator 103 then, rather than him?
I would go. I was laughing for some other reason.
Okay. So how would you define life in one sentence? How would you define life in one sentence?
Life in one sentence for me is unexpected, probably, because whatever you plan for life, everything happens, everything turns around, and everything happens to the opposite. You may plan to go to, for example, if you are in a job, you may plan to go to a particular profile, in a particular stream, or in a particular company, and then once you join it, you may find out that you are not made for it. Or you may plan to do a course, and then after you start doing it, or once you complete it as well, you can find out that you are not satisfied with it. Then you want more, or you get, your perception changes. For example, for me, which profile, for me it is regarding job, which profile I am a chartered accountant. While doing my chartered accountancy, I thought of getting into a particular profile. I got into a company, good company. I worked in the profile for 1.5 years, and then my perception changed that no, it is not a profile that I want to work on. And it may change in future as well, but yeah, life is unexpected. The best thing that we can do is we can try doing something which we are interested in. For example, do some extracurricular activities, or grow yourself, your personality, and you just prepare yourself for that unexpectedness part of life. Also, there can be other unexpected part, other unexpected things also. But the one thing that so once you like Parimita said that you get a life once, so you should live it to the fullest, and you should not keep thinking, just live it and enjoy. Join Toastmasters meeting and enjoy, laugh. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Madhav. I fully agree with you that we should enjoy life fully.
That's completely okay, Surjit.
Actually, there is a disturbance from my side. So
That's
sorry for
okay.
that. So I have a request from Rupinder that he want to give it a try. So please highlight Rupinder. Are you ready?
Am I audible?
Yes, yes. What is Rupinder? What is your number one goal for next 6 months? What is your number one goal for next 6 months, Rupinder?
If I had a choice and if I knew that I was going to meet that goal, I would say my goal would be to eat as much as possible without gaining any weight and still being a superhero all my life. But that is not always possible. Life is like that. So my goal is a rather humble one. Anant mentioned that I am an instructional designer and writing is the bread in my bread and butter. So I am trying to build some courses which I intend to deploy on websites like Udemy, Udacity, EDX. All of these are a culmination of my experience of over 2 decades in training and development. A lot of these courses, they relate to soft skills, and yes, public speaking is one of them. So should you happen to be lazing around on an afternoon and could not find some content that is worthy of your attention, I suggest that in about 2 to 3 months from now, head over to udemy.com or udacity.com, look up this bloke by the name of Rupinder Singh, try to find some courses that he's posted and try taking some courses and do give me feedback as to how they are. But to return to your original question, Mr. Table Topic Master, what is my goal for the next 6 months? This is a practical goal. Theoretically, I would like to eat as much as possible, not gain weight, and be a superhero. Back to you.
Thank you, Rupinder, for such a nice experience. So move on to next topic. We have Evaluator 3. Evaluator 3, would you like to?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a try.
Naveen, which activities make you lose track of time? Which activities make you lose track of time, Naveen?
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the activities which make me lose track of time is traveling. Because traveling used to be one of a passion, or one of the most passion, the favorite passion of mine, till this pandemic occurred about almost a year ago. And whenever I go for traveling, not only do I lose a track of time, of course, but more than that, I also always end up going over budget, whatever I budgeted for. Now let me tell you one of the reasons for which I really love traveling and for which I don't even mind losing track of time. Because for me, traveling is something which like I mean, in where you get to experience so many new things and you get to learn so much more than even a book. Reading a book cannot be compared to that. It is said that if our life is a book, and if you haven't traveled, then you only read the first page of your life, of that book. So if you really want to be an apt reader, or a person who is filled up of experience, meet more people, travel at different places, and I mean, look out for new experiences to enrich yourself. And how I've done it is that I've made a list of places which I would love to visit, or which I would at least like to see at least once in my lifetime. And it's a bucket list which I've created, and I keep on visiting one place at a time whenever the time permits. So far, I've only visited 44 out of the 100 places, but nevertheless, I'm sure when the times are convenient for traveling, I might as well try to visit other places and gain more experience and share it all with you in Toastmasters. So overall, even if I do lose a track of time, even if I do take a longer time than what all my trips are planned for, nevertheless, they're all endearing, and more or less, that's what life is all about, is to lose yourself in time in all those mesmerizing activity, because ultimately, it's experience which really enriches your life. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Naveen. So, timer, do we have time for another topic or we should conclude it? Okay. With this, I conclude this session, and I thank all the speakers for attempt for giving it a try, and for sharing your wonderful views and experience about such topic. So thank you all. Now over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Anand Katani. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Table Topic Master, for such fantastic list of topics. Ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment out and pick. I know it is going to be a difficult task, but pick a favorite table topic speaker of yours. Take hardly 10 more seconds to do that. Rupinder, the poll master, may close this poll at any point. Do it fast. Being a co-host, I unfortunately cannot do it. So you better try your democratic right to pick your best table topic speaker today. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember how I started my writing journey? Writing a short story of my own life in 2 years. That too, I had to write on a hand, my palm, and that too I forgot. From there, I have started this habit, tiny and taking tiny steps, gradually improving. As Madhav shared in the beginning, in the year 2019, I wrote 100 odd stories. And in fact, I had a Facebook broadcast group through which I forwarded it to so many of friends, about 600 plus people, most of them Toastmasters, and I got generous feedback. So that was a power of feedback that I improved from my first story till my probably last story of 2019 tremendously well. And today, if I have to show you the benefit of that, well, I am playing the role of TMOD. I remember all the introductions, including your favorite books. I'm also playing the role of Tech Master. And in front of me, the diary that I had kept, it is a blank diary. I thought maybe I will write down something so that I don't forget it. Now, I don't need to write it on my palm or on a piece of paper. It's all there, because writing gives you that habit that you can recall the content that you are supposed to speak. Now, hold on to that thought, because before inviting our general evaluator, we are going to have a quick snap, a photo. So Haritika, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly switch our videos on. Let's have a quick photo. So Fatima can't join perhaps through video, but other than that, Madhav, Paramita, Anshuman, let us all switch our videos on. In next 5 seconds, whoever switches their video on, fine. Haritika, give us a verbal response when the photo is done. Let's show a thumbs up or a victory sign, whatever suits you. Thank you, Haritika. And on that victorious note, ladies and gentlemen, time for us to become victorious in life by the power of evaluation. Presented to you courtesy the general evaluator, Arunima Bundal and her team. Arunima, over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Anand. Guys who loves to write in Toastmasters, I think the evaluators. And today, the first session we have is the evaluation session, where we have the evaluators to evaluate the prepared speakers. They are the persons I tell you that go into the depth and write each and everything. Beware of the evaluators. I'll take this session forward with our first evaluator, Rupinder Singh, who will be evaluating the speech by Toastmaster Rajesh. Evaluator 1, Rupinder Singh. Rupinder, do you want to have audio check?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please proceed.
Mark Brown said, the best speeches are not sensational. They are sincere. And if sincerity was a unit of measure, then Rajesh today would be scoring each one of us out. As far as sincerity was concerned, he was hitting the ball out of the park. Such sincere storytelling. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, it is not easy to tell a story that is not your own. It is not easy to bring that level of sincerity in a story that is not your own, and especially a story that you may have heard before. But today, Rajesh brought that into play. And to me, that was the best aspect of his storytelling capabilities and of his speech. I like the way how he began his speech by asking a question. Instant attention, everybody hooked onto it. And what a way to introduce informal mentoring, that if you have a sibling or if you have a kid, you have been a mentor all your life, because mentors lead by example, and kids and siblings, they follow your examples. I would know, I have a younger sibling and I have a kid. How his expressions change, do this way, do that way. I love that change in his speech. Now, in a speech that was going along and that went so well, where are the areas that he can improve? While his facial expressions were excellent throughout the speech, there was one opportunity that I would like to call out. For example, when you said scarecrow, I would have wanted you to come up with a scary face, scarecrow kind of a thing. Then I would want you to focus on the simplicity of the language. You took a long time to describe a phrase which could have easily been said as, every mentor was at one time a mentee. You took about 3 or 4 lines to explain that a mentor was once a mentee. I did see a genuine attempt on your part to build in vocal variety, but I do see that as an area of improvement. What I will say is that, Rajesh, you are on the right track as far as vocal variety is concerned. There was a very limited stage for body language. I also felt that the ending was just that tad bit abrupt. Rajesh, to challenge yourself, I have one suggestion. Next time when you speak, try holding a water bottle or maybe even a pen in your hand for sort of a support when you're speaking, so that you don't forget. It's a psychological thing. Second, I want you to set the stage up in a proper manner so that we are able to view the full strength of your body language. All in all, a wonderful speech, wonderful storytelling. I often say that the world needs storyteller. Rajesh, you are on the way to becoming a very good storyteller. You have something that most storytellers don't, and that is sincerity. You speak from your heart. Never ever let go of that. Everything else will take care of itself. All the best to you for your future speeches. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Rupinder, for that wonderful evaluation. Our next evaluator for today is Toastmaster Madhav, who is the multitasker of the Turning Point Toastmasters. Let's see what he has to say to the speaker, Shora, about his evaluation. Over to you, Madhav.
Thank you, Anima, for that introduction. Sure, yeah. I can conclude my evaluation with just one thing. Best humorous speech I've ever heard. And seriously, I'm not exaggerating at all. Beautifully narrated stories, all stories that you told from scene 1 to 3, those were all beautifully narrated. In starting, I thought like I was listening to, you were referring to a novel. The way you narrated that thing was wonderful. I didn't know whether it was a real thing, real things that you were like, real dreams that you were narrating, but it was just wonderful. Another thing that I liked about your delivery, more often than not, when we are doing a humorous speech, when we are giving a humorous speech, we tend to give pauses so that the audience can digest and they can laugh. But while you were delivering, you were not taking like longer pauses for us to laugh, but we are still laughing, and I could see everyone on their video laughing. I don't know how you wrote that speech. I would really like to take tips from you. Body languages and non-verbal communication, the objective of your speech. I think that you did justice with your objectives, with purpose of your speech. I can say that the unintentional communication, that was another purpose of your speech. Uh, uh, Although you were sitting when you were delivering your speech, but you were able to deliver what you wanted to. When you said scene 1, then you said scene 2, it was like watching a movie and going from scene 1 to scene 2. When you said you played cricket and you fall from the terrace, then you went to a wedding or a havan, and your sister came running after you. All that was really hilarious, and all that was really wonderful. We were all glued to our seats while listening to our speech. Now coming to recommendation part, just one recommendation, that you should stand up while delivering a speech, especially a humorous one, because what you could deliver while sitting, I think that I don't know what it would have been like if you were standing. And all in all, it was very humorous, and body language was very nice. Vocal variation was also nice. Just one recommendation: try standing in your next humorous speech, and try a humorous speech only, because I think that you can do well in that genre. And that's all from my side. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhav. Our next evaluator is Toastmaster Naveen, who will be evaluating the icebreaker speech by Gaurav. Toastmaster Naveen.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and Toastmaster Gaurav Zingla. What a wonderful speech. A wise man has once said, "Just speak in such a way that others love to listen to you, and listen in such a way that others learn to speak to you." You enthralled us all with your life journey, and that is the main objective of the icebreaker, which you clearly broke today, and you met all the objectives. Kudos to you. I like the way, let me tell you what I like first of all. I love the way that you delivered, and you took us in the life journey right from the place you were born and when you were born, and along with you, your sibling who was born, and you used a wonderful phrase of buy one and get one free. That left me in splits. And apart from that, the names which you were both given, that too was a hilarious one. Johnny, Bonnie, it rhymed well, and I'm sure our grammarian would definitely love this name. All right, so so first of all, the journey was very well explained, and of course, it was very well painted. You managed to paint the picture by which we could get the full structure of your speech, and that is the key objective, which really makes or breaks a speech. And I'm glad you explained it very well. And secondly, you also explained very well of your life, of your graduation, and after your graduation, how the phase of your life went over, and how you met your life partner, and how you managed to get hitched, and your life journey till date of where you're working. So these are some of the key objectives which are required in this particular speech, because I should be able to identify you even when I meet you, maybe after a few years. Okay, so this is who you are. And icebreaker is a speech which really determines that. And another important thing which I really liked in the speech was that you gave the relevance of Toastmasters, which we could all relate to, and especially I could relate to, and why Toastmasters is really important for your job role. Of course, that's the reason for which even I joined Toastmasters about a decade ago. And I'm glad I made that wonderful decision. And I can assure you that this is going to be one of the best decisions in your life. Now, how to really make this speech more impactful for future and what you could really do. So let me just give you one or two small tips. First of all, I felt that if you could just be a little bit more expressive, that would really add or really shine up your speech. And I mean, if you could just work on a little bit of body gestures, one way you could do it would be that if you could just stand slightly back so that we could just feel your hand and see all the gestures. And the way you could be more expressive is that when you explain all those funny terms, if you could just make some faces and just make some gestures, I'm sure that would really work a lot. So overall, it was a wonderful speech, and you really captivated us with the humor. And if you could just add some expressions, I'm sure it would add more punch. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naveen. Techmaster, can we have the polls for best evaluator?
Launching.
Evaluator 1, Rupinder Singh. Evaluator 2, Madhav Upadhyay. Evaluator 3, Naveen Parwal. Guys, you have 10 seconds. Before moving on to our next session, inviting the tag team, I would like to do the evaluation for the evaluators and the table topic session so that my tag team can note my time, my and my language as well. I have a general commendation for all the evaluators that they all were very motivating while giving the commendations, and how Rupinder started with the code, how Naveen was telling about all the good things that he has done, and Madhav like pointed out each and every detail so that the speaker feels motivated. Rupinder, I have one general commendation for you, that maybe since Rajesh is new in his Toastmaster journey as a speaker, while giving recommendation, if you can have a bit smile on your face. So because I am a kind of a person who doesn't like evaluations, and if somebody gives me the commendation and recommendation with a smile, I would feel motivated. Madhav, I have a recommendation for you, that when you were pointing out that the speaker Shaurya could have stood up while giving the speech, if you could have done the same to show the impact to him, like what happens when you stand up and speak, if you could have done that. And Naveen, same for you, like while you were very good with the hand gestures while giving both the commendations and recommendations, just a little bit smile, that is all that is needed to motivate the speakers. Moving on to the table topic session, the table topic master was quite good with his topics. He tried to relate with the theme writing, and he brought out really nice topics. The only thing he missed out was that he did not observe the ballots for the best prepared speaker. That was done by the Toastmaster of the day. Ideally, it should have been done by you, table topic master. Our first table topic speaker was Fatima, reading or writing. Fatima, you very well explained like why you like to write. While reading, you were telling that it is your favorite thing rather than writing. You could have given something about your favorite author or maybe about your favorite book. That is it. Sunjung, you were very motivating. Ending was very motivating when you were talking about the biography and how you started with the wow. That was quite good, but I could hear some background noises while you were speaking. If we could avoid that. Raghu, I really like how you are a workaholic person and wants to be like Elon Musk. The only recommendation for you is if you could maintain eye contact. I could feel that while you were speaking, you were constantly looking here and there, like, or maybe you were looking into the computer screen. So if we could have a proper eye contact. Our next speaker was Sherman. He very well explained like why we should try, and if we will never try, we will never fail. And I think the only recommendation is if you could give something from your personal life, that how you tried and how if you would have not tried, you would have not achieved that. Madhav, same for you. If you could have given like a sentence, like you explained very well how you wanted to do that, you did that. If you could have given that one line, like we were waiting for in the end. Rupinder, I really like how you were telling about all your goals. And if you could have a bit motivated others to like have some like number one goal for the next 6 months, that would have helped. Naveen, I like how he was telling about traveling and budget and everything. And if you could have like talked about one such place where you would like to travel again and again, or maybe have some special memories. We had Paramita. I am sorry if I could not pronounce it correct.
It's correct.
Thank you. If you could have told us of like why you are grateful for your life, and you are very content, but if you could have told us that why you are very happy in your life, or maybe some one thing that you are grateful for in your life. That is all for the table topic session. Now I'll have my tag team. First is Grammarian, Haritika.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
And
As a grammarian, it was. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you, Madam General Evaluator. As the grammarian, it was my duty to pay close attention to the good and not so good usages without sleeping, and I didn't sleep. So for today's meeting, the word of the day was exaggerate, and it was used only thrice, once by Arunima, once by Anand, and by Madhav. Now, coming to my report and the good usages, I am glad that we had so many. Starting with Anand, who used charismatic, which means influencing or attracting. Rupinder, who used testimony, which means evidence. Deploy, which means extend. Culmination, which means end result of years of research. Rajesh, who used envisions, which means visualize. Shaurya, who used gushing, which means effusive display. Notorious, which means famous for negative reason. Dozing off, which means to fall asleep. Cringe, which means feeling of embarrassment. Pondered, which means think about something. Then Gaurav used the word pondered, which means thinking about something. Then Naveen used mesmerizing, which means capturing one's attention. Now coming to the not so good usages or the improvement, we had, so starting with how many peoples are. Instead we can use how many people are. Once upon a time, there three farmers were living. Toastmaster International. It's Toastmasters International. My examples, you could use my example. I couldn't speak. I started staying with my sister's place. Instead, you could use I started staying at my sister's place. Then I fully agree with you. I completely agree with you. Enjoy life fully, enjoy life to the fullest. Travel at different places, which it could be replaced by travel to different places. Then there was some golden thoughts I really liked. Rajesh told that Rajesh used put the paper, which means I think resignation, leaving with legacy. Then Shaurya used blazing summer sun, sigh of relief. Buildings are murderers, eyes and heart open. Then Gaurav Zingla used knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. And he also used about the letter, I will talk later. Buy one and get one free. Then Naveen used makes or breaks the speech and captivated us with humor. And that's all from my side as a grammarian. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Haritika. That was a very well highlighted report by you. Next, we have our counter Anshuman, who also likes to write in detail. Anshuman, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Haritika. Today I did not have quite a busy day, quite an improvement, and I was surprised by quite a few improvements across the board. I'm going to quote individually of what everyone's counts of R's, ums, and filler words were. So coming to Sergeant at Arms, Nikita, she had one so, Presiding Officer Madhav, 2 R's, team out of the day, Anand had 1 R and 1 so throughout his entire presentation. Then General Evaluator Arunima, across the multiple roles you play, you had 2 R's, 1 1 so. Timer, Nikita, I'm yet to evaluate. Speaker 1, Rajesh. Like honestly, stunning improvement from your previous roles. You had 1 R, 1 so, 1 repetition, but I really loved your speech in terms of filler words. Rupinder, in terms of evaluation, just 1 mention of Shaurya, again, very well prepared, just 1 R. Madhav, evaluator 2, you have to, I think, work on your R's. You had around 8 hours in your evaluation. I think that was a red. Then coming to speaker 3, Gaurav, your speech did not have many filler words, but when you were speaking, it was appearing as if there are like a bit of mini pauses in your speech. You might want to work on that because it was not coming with flow. Like in terms of actual R's, it was 1 R and 2 long pauses. You might want to focus on the flow of your speech. Naveen, yours was 1 R, 1 and 2 so's. Table topic master Surji, 1 R, 1 and 3 so's. Fatima, table topic speaker 1, 2 R's, 1 Paramita, like initially did not speak, but then like quite a few long pauses, 2 or 3, and 2 R's. In Sun Young, right? Sun Young, you had 2 R's, 3 R's. Raghu, 2 R's. Sherman, 2 R's, 1 Madhav, 3 R's, 1 so in your table topic speech. Rupinder, almost flawless, 1 Naveen, 1 R, 3 so. That is it from my over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshuman. Next in the tag team is the very important person who was noting all the times very efficiently. Let's hear it from our timer, Nikita.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'd like to share my screen. Please confirm if you can see.
Yes, we can.
So we had 3 speakers, all within the time range. Rajesh spoke for 6 minutes 48 seconds. Shaurya spoke for 6 minutes 54 seconds. Gaurav spoke for 5 minutes 51 seconds. Coming to the table topic sessions, unfortunately, we had 5 disqualifications here, starting with Fatima, who spoke for 1 minute 15 seconds. Sanjang, who spoke for 1 minute 51 seconds, Raghu, who spoke for 1 minute 34 seconds, Sharman, who spoke for 2 minutes 19 seconds, Paramita, who spoke for 31 seconds, Madhav, who spoke for 2 minutes 23 seconds, Rupinder, who spoke for 1 minute 40 seconds, and Navin, who spoke for 2 minutes 19 seconds. Coming to the evaluators, all within the grace period, 3 minutes, starting with Rupinder, 3 minutes 27 seconds, Madhav, 3 minutes 12 seconds, and Navin, 3 minutes 18 seconds. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikita. Techmaster, can we have the ballots for the best role player?
being launched. One clarification, in table topics, the disqualification is below 1 minute and more than 2 minutes 30 seconds.
I think we have no disqualification.
We have one.
Except one.
Which is less than, yeah.
Yeah.
So poll master, while preparing for certificates, please keep that disqualification. Thank you.
Is it done?
You will close it anytime. You might want to proceed. Go ahead.
Thank you. So that was an exceptionally brilliant job by my tag team, except our counter Anshuman, who needs to remember that G is not Haritika and it is played by Toastmaster Arunamma. I think my tag team should know. But somehow Haritika is on everyone's mind because of her sleep. So, but this time she has done a brilliant job. We have to stop exaggerating her habits. Now, moving on to a meeting as a whole, meeting started well on time. The room was played. There was that one thing that I like about the today's meeting is that there were no disturbance. There were no disconnections between the audio and video while the speaker was speaking. The sergeant at arms read the club mission completely properly, and she remembered each and every word. All the rules were announced. The labeling of the names by the role players were done before the meeting started. The only recommendation for her is if she could have the agenda read once starting the meeting, as she mispronounced the presiding officer. The presiding officer did a very good job. He introduced the guests properly. He introduced TMOD quite well, giving us the brief idea about the theme and about the details of the team on. Moving on to the Toastmaster of the day, the theme was well chosen because the writing is one such emotion that everyone is connected to in some way or the other, be it writing in the papers, or be it writing a love letter, or be it writing an essay, or be it anything, right? Even writing a Microsoft Word or a PPT. Everyone is somewhere connected to writing. So a theme was well chosen, and he very well explained why he chose the theme and how he is connected to it. And even I could stay connected all the time. The meeting was introduced properly, all the sessions, the ballots were explained, all the speakers and evaluators were given a very good introduction about the theme, and they were asked about their habits about reading or writing, everyone. And audience was asked for the proper feedback. The ballots were observed on the time. Meeting is going within the time. And that is all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. Can we have a great round of applause for this diligent team, which has given us some cherishable feedback. We all are going to take away something or the other as a learning today, right? Now, before I close up my theme, here is maybe a tangible takeaway for all of us. Let's not wait for a good idea to strike. Just pick up a pen and paper, or just pick up that laptop and keyboard, or if nothing else, in the middle of the night, when you are awake, there is a storm brewing up in your mind. Pick out an application, a notepad application in your mobile, start typing whatever is brewing up over there. Some of my not so good poems, some crazy ideas which I didn't think were any good at that point of time, but later gave me some good, brilliant speech ideas. Maybe some deliberations that I just killed and buried there itself. But the point is, at least I let them out. So power them out. I am reminded of a song by Metallica. I don't exactly remember the title of the song, but this is a scribbling that I read on the backbenches in my college days. Someone else had written down these words. And the words go something like that. bruised, battered, torn apart, blown, broken, beaten down. Some days I'm buried away, sometimes buried alive. But I still breathe, I still walk. If not, I strive to crawl instead. I'm a phoenix resurrecting every time declared that. Well, it's not by Metallica. This is something I wrote by my own. Reading those words from Metallica, I am reminded of only the last line. It says something like from the original song, there is a scream inside me that wants to be let out. So whatever is screaming inside you, let it out, let it out. Writing gives you that platform, which can be a healing process for your own broken heart at times. Writing can be that powerful tool which can change the whole world as well around you. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether for your own soul or whether for a social change, whether to make someone laugh, smile, cry, or if nothing else, maybe just as a good habit to improve your handwriting, so that, like Haritika, if you are going to arrange a marriage, on the cards, if you have to write down the names, at least you are in the practice of writing. Write for whatever purpose, write. On that note, I sign off and invite our presiding officer, Toastmaster Madhav, to take away the feedback, take this proceeding further, and conclude a glorious day at Turning Point Toastmasters meeting number 195. Madhav, over to you.
Thank you, Anant. What a great theme for today. And so we do have poll for best role player, Toastmaster of the Day, Table Topic Master, and General Evaluator. I would also cast my vote. I think the poll is done. Thank you, Anant, for the great theme for today. I must say that I would be working on my writing habits. I would, if nothing, then I would probably start writing more speeches. So can I give speeches more frequently? Now, before inviting Rupinder for poll results, I would like to take feedback from our guests that we have today. I would like to start with Toastmaster Sharman. Sir, if you could give us a quick feedback, it would be better.
Yeah, I think your club is doing well, and you have a lot of good speakers. I got to know this club through Gayatri, gave the invitation, and I can see the Toastmaster of the Day was doing a very good job, and the General Evaluator, and all the speakers, everybody is doing well. So all the best for your future meetings and challenges to the club. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your words. We would be glad to have you again in our club. Now, I would like to take feedback from Raghunandan. I think, yeah, Raghunandan.
Yeah, so I think it's a great club to be in. I've heard of Toastmaster earlier, but I think it was more of a physical, activity that was always happening. I think it has recently moved to Zoom, which I was, researching online, got to, see this, somehow added this to my calendar, and it got notified, after completing my meeting, daily work routine and stuff. And I was 40 minutes late to this meeting. But yeah, it's a great experience to be here. Getting to know you, so many guys, without even having any connection, wherein having an environment wherein we are very open in terms of sharing feedback, getting criticism, and improving day by day on the communication skills. And I think that's a thread that I also had in my own personal journey, when I've not been a speaker throughout my life. Like I've been always a backbencher. So it's a great platform to be in, at least, which gives you a lot of, a lot of pressure inside you to, get, people who really want to do, will keep doing it. It's more about, getting up every day, and keep doing it, and not finding a reason to not to do it. So it's really exciting, and you guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be here.
Thank you, Raghu. I must say you attempted table topic brilliantly, and I couldn't guess that you are not a good speaker. But Toastmaster is indeed a great place to improve your communication and leadership skills. Thank you for that feedback. Now I would request Sun Jung from South Korea to just give us some feedback so that we can improve further.
Thank you for opportunity to speak. And today I came a little bit early. You guys checking everything, making sure preparation was wonderful, and also theme is a very important. I think it's a very great one, and table topic was a prompt. Speaker was sincere and kind. I learned a lot from you guys. It's first time in the Toastmaster India, so it's what I can have indirect experience from all of the people from different background. And table topic was was also great. Have opportunity, and evaluation was very thoroughly, and everything was really done very well. Just the only timing, because it's midnight, so I'm just a little bit sleepy. That's the reason. Other than that, I really enjoyed. Thank you so much. For the back to the.
Thank you, Sanjang. We are very glad to have you here, and we would be more glad if you come again to our meetings. Now, I would request Muskan to give us some feedback.
Hi, I was not here for the event actually. I was hoping to see more speeches, but I was not here. I was traveling, so my network is not working out. I'm going to be here the next time, and I'm going to have full access to the internet, and I promise to be here.
Thank you, Muskan. Thank you. We look forward to have you and give you a chance and give you giving us a chance to hear your impromptu speaking. Now,
But really, you guys are working really hard for this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Muskan. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Now, I think, Rupinder, we can have poll results.
Great. Sharing my screen. Please confirm if you can watch my screen.
Yes,
it's loading up. Now we can see.
Okay. So this is our automated certificate generation system. Starting with, so we've got 3 best table topic speakers. So our third runner-up for the table topic speeches is someone for whom it is now midnight. Worth waking up for, Sanjay. Many congratulations. The second best table topic speaker is one of the most hardworking people today. Many congratulations, Madhav Upadhyay. Great job done. And the best table topic speaker, I strongly propose that we just have an honorary award in his name because he's going to win it anyway. Many congratulations, Naveen Parwar. When it comes to the best auxiliary role player, again, this time the butler did it, and that is the reward for not sleeping. I just hope I got her name right. Many congratulations, Haritika Ahuja. The last name is still Ahuja, right? Okay. All right. Moving on to the best role player. Okay. No prizes for guessing this one. This award literally ran away on its own, outscoring the other two role players. Many congratulations, Anand Kathiaini. Very well done there. And the best speech evaluator. I guess that this person is going to represent this club in the district evaluation speech contest. So it would be a matter of self-pride that this goes to Rupinder Singh. Thank you. And the best speaker, from jumping off rooftops to getting spanked by probably his sister, was it? Or some other unpleasant experience, making us laugh at his own expense. Many congratulations, Shaurya Chauhan. And that concludes the awards night. I will click this button and the certificates will reach you by email. In case they don't, get to know, and I will send them manually. Back to you, presiding officer.
Thank you, Rupinder. Now I would like to thank all role players, all guests for joining us and for making this meeting successful. And we do have our meeting twice a week, one on Thursday that we are having today, and one on Sunday. You would get the meeting link on the